I got this query from one of our student, whether advance received from customer should be deducted while arriving at drawing power. Generally, while computing the drawing power, what we'll do is we'll take inventory receivables. From that, we'll subtract trade creditors. So he's asking whether advance from customers also should be considered. For that, I'm going to consider this scenario. Let's say there is an inventory of 50 million, receivables of 30 million, and other current assets of 20 million. So that makes total current assets of 100 million. And let's see how they have structured this. They are going to use sundry creditors of 15 million to fund this, advances from customers of 25 million, and they are looking at bank finance of 35 million, for which they have the sanction in the form of cash credit, and net working capital 25 million, which the owners will be bringing in through long-term funds. Okay, now let's apply what will happen to the drawing power if advance from customers is deducted and if not deducted. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to call this as scenario 1, where I'm going to compute the drawing power by deducting the advance from customers. So basically this cash credit of 35 million, whatever the cash credit of 35 million, it is for funding their current assets, right? That's basically for supporting this inventory, receivables, and of course some element will go to other current assets also. So here inventory is 50 million, receivables is 30 million. Now what we'll do, we will first distribute the available sources. There is sundry creditors, right? There is sundry creditors. This sundry creditors of 15 basically comes in to support this inventory of 50, right? Okay. So 50, of which 15 is funded by sundry creditors. And I'm also going to consider that this inventory is also funded by advance from customers, and the amount is this 25. So if I make this assumption, what will happen is 50 minus 15 minus 25. That is 50 minus 40, 10. 10 will be the inventory that can be considered for bank finance. So on the 10, bank can fund 75%, assuming assuming a margin of 25%. If I knock off that, so look at this calculation. 50 minus 15 minus 25, so it is 50 minus 40, that is 10. On the 10, 75% works out to 7.5. What is the overall bank finance? 35. Out of 35, 7.5 goes towards inventory funding. It means balance can be considered only for receivable, right? So what is the available receivable? 30. Of that, 75% will work out to how much? It will work out to 22.5. Is it like that? Let's check. Let's check this calculation. Yeah. 30 into 75% works out to 22.5. So 22.5 plus 7.5 makes the total bank finances 30. It means only 30 can be given to this customer based on this calculation, because we have deducted the advance from customers of 25 from this inventory. So only 30 can be funded. And now there is going to be a problem. What is that problem? Look at here. Inventory is 50. Of that, 15 is funded by sundry creditors, 25 is funded by customers, 7.5 has come from bank finance. It means still there is a gap of 2.5. So who is going to fund that gap? Promoters through long-term funds. They have 25, right? Out of that 25, 2.5 can come over here. So this entire inventory 50 is now funded. If you look at the total here, it is sum of all this gives you 50. It means inventory is taken care. Okay. What about receivables? Receivables is 30. Bank finance is only 22.5. So balance 7.5. From where we can adjust that 7.5, that 7.5 also can be adjusted from the net working capital, because out of 25, only 2.5 gone for inventory, still 22.5 is left over. So out of the 22.5, 7.5 can be considered for receivable. So in that way, if you see, receivable is also fully funded, because requirement is 30, 22.5 has come from bank finance, 7.5 has come from net working capital. Okay, so entire 30 is taken care. Now comes the other current assets. Other current assets will also get built automatically, right? So for that 20, what is the available source now? For the 20, what is the available source? See, their net working capital is only 25. Of that, 2.5 gone for inventory, 7.5 gone for receivables, so 10 gone. So out of 25, 10 already used. It means remaining 15. So only this 15 from net working capital is available to fund the other current assets. It means the total requirement, the availability is only 15, that too from net working capital. It means there is a shortage of 5. There is a shortage of 5 for funding this other current assets. Why this happened? It's because look at the bank finance. Bank finance, what is used here is only 30 out of 35. So there is a gap of 5, and that gap is now causing some problem for this other current assets buildup. Okay. And why all this happened? It all happened because we deducted the advance from customers while arriving at the drawing power and while arriving at the eligible bank finance disbursement. So this is the scenario 1, and the outcome is deducting the advance from customers is causing some kind of a mismatch. So what should happen? Let's see. We'll have scenario 2 where we are not going to deduct the advance from customers, and let's see what will happen. The same inventory, receivable and other current assets. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is this 50 is going to be funded by sundry creditors 15. So 50 minus 15, what is left over? 35. Okay. Now how I am going to structure is I'm going to fund the 35 first through bank finance. That is 35 is the available inventory, of which 75% can be funded by bank. So I'm bringing the bank finance here. 35 into 75%. Look at the calculation. It is 50 minus 15, 35 into 75%, 26.25. Right? Okay. So 26.25 for inventory is coming from bank finance. 15 is coming from sundry creditors. So still there is some gap. So how that gap can be filled? Gap can be filled through advance from customers, because advance from customers is already 25. So of that 25, we'll take 8.75 and fill the gap. So inventory is now taken care fully. Then comes receivables. Receivables, 30 is the receivables. Whether entire 30 can be funded by bank finance? No. Why? Because out of bank finance of 35, already 26.25 has gone for inventory. It means only the balance can be used for funding the receivable. So out of 35, 26.25 gone. It means balance 8.75 only available for financing the receivables. Okay. So 26.25 plus 8.75 makes total 35. And now if you see, out of 30, only 8.75 is funded. So there is a gap. How much? 30 minus 8.75. There is a gap of 21.25. Who can fund this 21.25? It can be funded by net working capital. Net working capital is 25. We have not yet touched this. So out of 25, the gap is only 21.25. Let's use it. So what will happen now? This 30 is now fully funded. 8.75 bank finance, 21.25 net working capital. So it is done. It is taken care. And now we are left with other current assets. And this other current assets is funded through advance from customers. See, advance from customers, out of advance from customers 25, 8.75 we have already used for inventory funding. So what is left over? 25 minus 8.75, it is 16.25. So of this 20, 16.25 is met by advance from customers. It means balance is 3.75 only. That can be very well used from net working capital. In this way, other current assets is also taken care. So what happened? Same figures, okay, same scenario, but the funds are distributed in an effective way and there is no shortage. Okay, in both the cases, the current assets, current liabilities, net working capital all are same. But in scenario 1, when the advance from customers is deducted, what happened is it created a mismatch. Why? Because the sanctioned cash credit could not be disbursed to the full extent. See, this cash credit facility itself is sanctioned only after factoring the working capital gap, right? Working capital gap basically takes care of other current liabilities as well. So advance from customers is already taken care in the assessment part. Banks will not prefer funding against unpaid stocks because in those cases suppliers have the first charge on those stocks. In case of advance from customers, it's basically another source of funding for working capital management, and here the question of having the charge on the stocks does not arise. So to conclude, whether advance from customers should be deducted while arriving at the drawing power, it is based on your bank's loan policy guidelines, because different banks will look at this scenario in a different way from the risk perspective. Okay, but given the same scenario, if you are going to deduct advance from customer, then that would result in lesser utilization of the sanctioned bank credit despite having drawing power, despite having adequate drawing power. Okay, so here I have explained two scenarios. In both the scenarios, the composition is same. When the order is changed, it resulted in optimum utilization. So you have to apply this in mind and then take a call.
Are you a bank executive looking to advance your career in credit or advance profile in SME and corporate banking? Do you want to learn the pre-sanctioned credit and financial analysis skills that are essential for success in this field? If so, then our course, Credit and Financial Analysis Mastery Bundle, for bankers, is for you. In this comprehensive and structured online course, you'll learn the pre-sanctioned credit underwriting process, covering credit analysis and financial analysis specific to SME and corporate banking credit. You'll be guided through each and every step of the process, from understanding the basics of credit analysis to assessing term loans as a banker. With 15 modules and a variety of ebooks and other resources, you'll have everything you need to master this highly sought-after skill. Our course is pre-recorded, so you can access it any time, at your own pace, without disturbing your official working hours. Plus, you can access it as many times as you'd like and even download it to your mobile device for offline viewing. When you complete the course, you'll receive a certificate of completion. And with lifetime Q&A support through our Telegram group, you'll have access to the guidance and support you need to succeed. Don't miss this opportunity to advance your career in credit and financial analysis. Enroll in our course today and take the first step towards a successful banking career.